Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into something that might shake the mobile gaming world. A comparison so powerful, so eye-opening, that it may just change the way you see your favorite games forever. This isn't just about graphics, not just about features, but about numbers, real numbers. The daily active players of three of the most talked about mobile games right now: Call of Duty Mobile, Warzone Mobile, and Delta Force Mobile. Let's begin with what the numbers say. Call of Duty Mobile, an undisputed giant, boasts a massive approximately 30 million daily active players. That's 30 million users logging in every single day. It's not just a number. It's a reflection of years of consistency, deep content updates, community trust, and global popularity. This is the gold standard, the game that revolutionized mobile FPS and brought console-quality gameplay to our palms. Next, we have Warzone Mobile, a highly anticipated title. A name so big it echoed across platforms. And yet, the reality is a little different. Warzone Mobile currently holds between 1 to 3 million daily active users. Yes, just 1 to 3 million. For a game built under the colossal name of Warzone, this is a surprising number. A number that speaks volumes, but not in the way Activision probably hoped for. And then, there's Delta Force Mobile, the new kid on the block. A game that many had written off before it even launched. But guess what? It's pulling 12 million daily players. That's right, 12 million people logging in every day to play a game that came out of nowhere and started shaking the very foundations of mobile FPS gaming. But let's stop here. Let's not just compare numbers. Let's understand what they mean. Because behind each player, behind each login, there's a reason, a story, a choice. So, let's ask the burning question. Why? Why is Warzone Mobile, with its AAA branding, sitting far behind a relatively new title like Delta Force Mobile? Why are players making the shift? Why are mobile gamers leaving one battlefield and choosing another? Let's break this down layer by layer, because this story isn't just about games. It's about expectations, disappointments, and the rise of an underdog. Let's start with Warzone Mobile. When it was announced, the hype was unreal. Fans were dreaming of Verdansk on mobile, of bringing the PC and console experience to their fingertips. But when it launched, things weren't what we expected. The graphics, too demanding for mid-range and budget devices. Optimization, poor. Frame drops, crashes, overheating issues. These aren't small complaints. These are game-breaking problems. And for a game that promised console-like gameplay on mobile, this wasn't just a letdown, it was betrayal. Even now, months after launch, many users are still struggling to run the game smoothly on devices that should be more than capable. That 1 to 3 million DAU range, it's not just a statistic, it's a cry from the community. People want to love Warzone Mobile, but the game just doesn't seem to love them back. On the other side of this battlefield stands Delta Force Mobile. No flashy marketing, no overhyped trailers, just pure focus on performance, simplicity, and accessibility. It launched silently, but with one powerful statement: we're here for everyone. And that statement, it worked. 12 million daily active users didn't come out of nowhere. Delta Force Mobile runs smoothly on low-end and mid-range phones. It doesn't ask for the latest Snapdragon chip. It doesn't make you drop your graphics settings to the lowest just to avoid lag. It respects the player's hardware and gives them a smooth, enjoyable experience. And that's not all. Delta Force Mobile brought back a classic feel. It doesn't try to be overly futuristic or overly complicated. It just focuses on fun. Classic TDMs, responsive gunplay, maps that feel balanced, and fast matchmaking. It respects your time. It respects your device. And most importantly, it respects you. Meanwhile, Call of Duty Mobile continues to dominate. Why? Because it strikes the perfect balance. It offers stunning graphics and great optimization, regular updates, seasonal events, battle passes that feel rewarding, and a player base that feels heard. That's why it's at 30 million daily active users. It didn't get there overnight. It earned it over time. Now, with these three games on the field, we're witnessing a war, not just of firepower, but of strategy. Call of Duty Mobile is the king holding the throne. Delta Force Mobile is the underdog climbing fast. Warzone Mobile is the sleeping giant that still hasn't woken up. But will it? Can Warzone Mobile make a comeback? Can it fix its optimization, win back its players, and rise from this 1 to 3 million daily player slump? Let's talk about what needs to happen. First, optimization. No matter how big the brand, if the game can't run properly on 70% of devices, it's going to lose players. Delta Force Mobile proved proved that. You don't need ultra graphics to win hearts. You need smooth, reliable performance. Activision needs to stop chasing console shadows and start embracing mobile realities. Second, content updates. Warzone Mobile needs faster, more consistent updates. Not just skins and bundles, but game modes, events, and community-driven content. Players need a reason to log in daily. Right now, that reason just isn't strong enough. Third, community communication. Players feel ignored. Feedback isn't being addressed. Bugs remain for weeks, even months. Compare that to Delta Force Mobile, where hotfixes come fast and player suggestions are actually implemented. This is not just about who has the biggest name anymore. This is about who listens, who delivers, and who adapts. Let's go deeper into Delta Force Mobile's rise. How did a new game reach 12 million daily users so quickly? The answer is in its foundation. Smart development choices, lightweight size, no forced 4 GB downloads, no 10-minute wait times just to enter the lobby. It just works. And when a game just works, players notice. Delta Force Mobile also benefits from nostalgia. It taps into a familiar formula. Straightforward shooting, intuitive controls, and old-school intensity. It doesn't need to copy Warzone. It just needs to be Delta Force, and that's enough. And that brings us to the core of this conversation. The war of mobile FPS is not just a war of numbers. It's a war of philosophies. Warzone Mobile chases realism and console authenticity, but forgets about accessibility. Delta Force Mobile chases accessibility and balance, but keeps the experience fun and grounded. Call of Duty Mobile balances both, and that's why it sits at the top. But we're not done yet. In fact, we're just getting started. Because now, let's talk about the future. What happens 6 months from now? A year from now? If Warzone Mobile doesn't evolve, it might become a ghost town. Players don't wait forever. They move on. And as we speak, many are already doing just that, leaving behind lag and frustration and stepping into smoother, more fun alternatives. Delta Force Mobile is growing fast. If it maintains this pace, if it keeps listening to its players, fixing bugs quickly, and launching fresh updates, it could become the next mobile FPS juggernaut. Not a clone, not a shadow, a standalone giant. And Call of Duty Mobile? It will likely continue its reign, unless it makes a critical mistake or stops innovating. But knowing its track record, that's unlikely. So here we are. 3 giants, 3 fates. Call of Duty Mobile, the king with the crown, tested and trusted. Delta Force Mobile, the rebel on the rise, building a new empire. Warzone Mobile, the giant with potential, but trapped in its own weight. The numbers don't lie. 30 million, 12 million, 1 to 3 million. Each number is a message. Each message is a warning. And each warning is a wake-up call. The battlefield is shifting. The throne is not guaranteed. So tell us in the comments, what do you play? What do you think is the future of mobile FPS? Let your voice be heard. Because in the world of mobile gaming, every player counts. And until next time, this is your host signing off. Stay sharp, stay connected, and as always, keep gaming.